sold in 3 days for $300,000 over asking. It's happening again. So basically, this is talking about referencing a two-bedroom out in Toronto East, hit the market with an asking price of just under 1.1 million. 3 days later, a whopping 3 days, it sold for 1.4 million. Right. So while this was very, very popular and very pretty much like a dime a dozen last year, especially during the peak of the market, February, March-ish area, February, March, or even a year and a half ago as well. It's not really as much. It's not happening as much as it's not happening as much now as it was then. But this sale of this property happened back in February 24th, so just over almost like 3 weeks ago. And again, we're seeing a lot more properties that is happening to. And what's happening is that what was happening before is a lot of homes are being sold well under what they knew that well under market value, which would draw a lot of people, get a crazy amount of offers, and drive the price up. Where this year we're getting something similar, where some homes are being priced just under market value, not like they were last year, where it was like ridiculous, right? $1 million home being listed at 700,000. This year is maybe $1 million home being sold listed at maybe 940, where it's close to reasonable, but still, if you see it as a buyer, you're like, okay, I want that house, right? But the problem is there's 30 other buyers who say I want the house as well, and they're coming and then they're bidding these houses up, and you're getting, again, not as crazy as it was, but you're still getting those bidding wars, and it's becoming a lot harder for buyers to find those kind of gems, because you have other people who are seeing those as well, right? So especially with now where the amount of homes on the market is much less, so it's a lot easier for buyers to see these properties because there's a lot less variation on the market. So yeah, so it's the market is it's a crazy year, right? We thought it would be a bit worse, but people are getting used to, I guess, the new reality.
Yeah.
Maybe these interest rates are kind of buyers saying, okay, you know what, it is where it is. Hopefully, the government Bank of Canada is not going to raise the rates again. So we need a home. We're trying to get in, and a lot of people are saying we need to get in. And it's the longer we wait, even though, you know, the people, again, as our last survey said, people still believe the house market is going to go up, right? So the longer you wait, the harder it's going to get for you. So even though it might be hard now, I think buyers are saying, you know what, it's hard, but we got to find a way, and they're finding a way.
Yeah. I definitely believe that we had a bunch of people sitting on the sidelines, and when the Bank of Canada froze the rates, the people said, well, you know what, there's a little bit of a give and take here. We don't like the interest rates based on the price. So the interest rates on their own is not the killer. It's the interest rates with these prices that makes it the killer. So, you know, if the prices were a little bit more reasonable, average price in the 700,000 or 600,000, this interest rate wouldn't be such a concern. But with the average price close to $1.1 million, this interest rate is still a concern. But what people are saying is like, there's nothing I can do about it. And you know what? Not only are they saying there's nothing I can do about it, but the rent prices are absolutely incredibly worse, in the sense that, you know, to get a relative home, you're going to be paying about $3,500 a month to rent. And so, you know, there were times when we never even heard of 30. You would have to be a multi-millionaire to even consider paying $3,500 a month.
An apartment in Ajax. My grandma was looking for a place. Or she was thinking about it. $2,800 for like in a building, 3-bedroom in a building. So not like a whole house. It's just one level. And these apartments are like, they're small. Like your bedrooms are nothing to like laugh. Like they're tiny, and almost $3,000, and then plus you have to pay your utilities and all the other things as well. So it's I don't know, it's crazy.
So it is very, very tough. So what people said is, they just said, you know what, the rates are what they are. Nothing we can do about them. They're freezing rates. Let's go out and get ourselves a home. We're going to go with a 5-year fix. So we know for the next 5 years, our mortgage, doesn't matter what happens to the marketplace, is not moving. and then my family has somewhere to live. And so they made that compromise, and now we're seeing a lot of people are actually making this compromise. And I think a lot of it does have to do with the rental market. If the rental market stayed sane, and you could have, instead of being paying $3,500, you could be paying what we would have thought of more like $1,800 to $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Then I could have a lot of buyers back out of the real estate market and go into the rental market. But as they backed out of the real estate market, they created more competition in the rental market, and the rental prices just went through the roof. And so people are saying the difference, it's not worth it. And that really kind of brings me back around to the age-old story that we made up several years ago, that even if you bought your home and you bought it for $1 million and your home had absolutely no value, wasn't worth anything the next day, and it stayed like that for the next 25 years, but you stayed in your house, you paid off your mortgage. 25 years from now, you don't have any mortgage payment at all. All you're paying is utilities. But the tenant, their rent has been going up and up and up for 25 years, and they're paying some extraordinary amount of money, because 25 years ago, that same $3,500 place you would have got for like $1,200, roughly speaking, maybe even less. 25 years ago, and now you're paying 35 instead of 12. Well, what's 35 going to be like in 25 years? You know, they're going to be paying $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 a month, but you're not going to be paying anything. And so even just on that basis alone, purchasing a home has some great value to it. But the truth of the matter, that's never happened in history, so it's an exaggeration. But it does show, with an exaggeration of a home dropping to zero and you just hanging in there, that it still can be a great purchase long term. And so, you know, then you add into the fact that, well, as rents go up, so is the value of the home, so is the value of bread, so is the value of milk. Everything's going up. We know governments are spending more now than they ever did before. And every time that they spend, the next year, they have to bring in more money to pay for that money they spent the year before. And every year they're spending more and more. That's just the way kind of life works. So the amount of money that we spend has to be more and more. So therefore our goods go up. If you remember when you were a kid, what you could have bought with a quarter, today you cannot. You know, a toonie is now a quarter, right? The toonie is the old quarter. The loonie is the old nickel. Right? And so that's kind of just how that works. And that's how it's going to continue to work. So the values of homes are going to continue to climb.
That's
and
like
that's the big value.
That's a normal cycle. Okay. So when people, I think what the difference is going to be possibly, and I hope this is going to be the difference, is people that are out there buying right now, they know what to expect. So they're probably staying within their budget. And instead of saying, I'm going to buy a house and live life, I think that they're now going to plan and save money in case this was to happen and their mortgage payments go up. Where now people that are in trouble had no idea this was going to happen. So they were still enjoying life, right? And maybe not saving the way you should. But I think now people going in it, the blinders are off and they kind of know, and hopefully they'll be able to hang on to their house. That's the sad thing, right? That's going to be the real sad thing when people, I mean, I just did one last week where the lady bought the condo. I had to buy her, but she bought the condo a year ago in February, and she paid $665,000, and she sold it last week. My client bought it, and we bought it for $535,000. So like she lost a lot of money. So obviously she didn't have a choice, because you're not going to sell your condo for less than $130,000 less than what you bought it a year ago. So obviously she got into trouble with the mortgage, with the money and
Something
that because
happened.
everything went up, right?
We don't know what happened, but something happened.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, there's people that are stuck like that, and that's the sad part, right?
Before you jump into
I just want to say this in terms of, it would have been nice if she did contact us before, because you never know. We may have put her in a situation where she didn't have to sell. Thank you for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. And please let us know your thoughts in the comments, as well as any questions you may have. We're live most Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to tune in. Thank you again for watching, and remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon so you can stay up to date on all our future uploads.